chart is individual. No one else can have your chart. Actually, for the next 26,000 years, no one else can have your chart. So every chart I read is different. And so is different by where the planets sit. And that sets up the cycles of your life. Then we have the signs, which give us our characters and our characteristics, who we are, who we exhibit ourselves on the planet. And then the rising sign is the one that tells us how we want people to see us. But then we have the houses, which are the stages we play on. So the stages are the first house through the 12th house represent different compartments of our life. So from the first 3 houses are about our personal being. The second 3 houses are about our relationships with people that are intimate in our life. The next 3 in the circle are about our relationship in our neighborhood. And then the last 3 of the circle are our relationship globally to the collective. So as we study where the planets sit in the houses and how that causes us to react as planets transit by our natal chart every day, and then from there we can say, well, we know that Pluto or that Saturn and Jupiter are the timing planets. Saturn is the timing planet of relationships in our life. He does a 29-year cycle. And in that 29-year cycle, we do 4 squares. And every time we do a square every 7 years, we have to stop and say, am I on my path? Am I doing things well? We have a Saturn square and it says, I'm going to stop, think about who I'm with, what I'm doing at work, what my family is about, what my home is about, what my religious self is about, or my spiritual self is about. And we're going to stop and pause, because a quarter of the chart is where we hit what's called a square, and we have to change directions. So it's a 90-degree angle when we square, and that 90-degree angle teaches us we've got to grow up. So Saturn is our maturation planet. Every 7 years he looks at our life. Well, if you go through your lifetime, if you've lived long enough, when you go through your lifetime, you can go back and look at your chart and see what was going on when you were 7 to 8, 14 to 15, 21 to 22, 28 to 30, and on out. Every 7.5 years, we make choices of, I want to grow up, I want to mature, or I don't. And the lesson of that comes from the relationships, because Saturn is a relationship planet. If we don't change when we need to, it means a lesson is coming. If we decide to sit still and not do something, not act, the universe is going to send us a lesson about that. And that's the Saturn. And then at the 4th one, we do what Saturn, which is called our Saturn return.
Saturn return.
And that's 28 to 30 years. And then we do another Saturn return when we're 58 to 60. Mm-hmm. And those 3 sections of our life are the different areas that we live in. When we're 1 to 28, we are still under the auspices of our family. When we move into 30 to when we come to 30 to 60 years or 58 years old, that's when we're out working. We're having babies, we're working, we're leaving our mark on the planet. When we hit our 60 Saturn return at the end of 60 years old, we move into the last third of our life, and that's where we leave our legacy. So we have these sections of our life that we work. If you know when the sections are coming by doing an astrology chart for yourself and know where you are in that, then you know how to act when it happens to you. That is when divorce happens.
And it helps you understand what's happening to you.
Right. It helps you understand that. We divorce, we marry, we have babies, we move, we go back to school, we find out our parents are smart. We find out that our boss wants to hold us where we are, but we got to move on. All of those things happen in a Saturn return at 28 to 30. At 58 to 60, we want to know what am I going to do now to leave my legacy? I'm about finished working. I'm about to move into what I love with my heart to do. And then it becomes not a job, but it becomes an avocation of passion.
Passion.
And we leave our passion those last 30 years of our life.